This video is sponsored by Lutron Electronics. Hey you guys, I'm excited to have you come along with me as I attempt this epic DIY mirror for our entry. I'm not sure if this will resonate with you or not, but sometimes I am really stubborn about design choices. In short, there'll be something that I want to include in design that's really not the best option, but I want to do it anyways. Shaye and I were not seeing eye to eye on how to decorate the entry of our house. And so his recommendation was to take it to you guys on Instagram. So that's exactly what I did. I need your advice on something. We have this wall, okay, with tall ceilings, clearly not decorated yet. So my initial plan had been to repurpose this, but Shaye thinks that this imposes a little bit too much on the space. I like it because I think it adds some weight over here with all of this blackness happening over here. Yeah, balance problem. So his idea is, he thinks we should just do a huge, seriously huge plaster art like I showed you with no table here. So what do you guys think? Table with a smaller art above, or no table and huge, massive piece of art? Yeah, so after 20 women on Instagram told me, girl, you need a mirror there, I finally saw the light. So I have got some mirror panels here. I'm a little bugged because these said that they were self-adhesive, but they're not. They just have these little nubbins on the back. So I'm gonna have to get some mirror mastis so that I can glue these to my wood frame, but they'll work. Now I am headed to the lumber store to get my supplies, get this mirror going. While I'm coming through here, I'm excited to tell you guys about these Serena shades from Lutron that we got in here. We've talked about these before in other places in our house, but we just added them here in our dining nook and in our playroom, so I'll tell you about those a little bit later on. I've got all my lumber here. If you think chivalry is dead, then you try coming to a hardware store in Utah. It's not. I get like lots of offers for help. One might think that you need a pickup truck to haul this type of lumber, but I've learned how to beat the system with my minivan. Oh yeah. For this project, I used 3 4x4 sheets of plywood, 10 11/16 inch trim pieces, 4 1x3s, a can of gray primer, 2 cans of dark gray spray paint, mirror adhesive, and wood filler. One tool you can't do this project without is a large metal square. It was essential for getting all the little openings for the mirror squared up correctly. In terms of power tools, my brad nailer and miter saw were lifesavers for this project. For the size of mirror that I wanted, which was about 4.5 by 9 feet, I needed to piece together my plywood. So spacing became really important early on to know how to cut all those pieces of plywood. So I have got the backing all cut out, which honestly took way longer than it should have. And now I'm going to secure it with 1x3s to make sure it's nice and sturdy. I have to say the hardest part of this entire project was cutting my plywood with my circular saw. It is one power tool I have not mastered yet. I even had a super fine saw blade to cut through that, and it just took me a really long time. Since I pieced together my plywood, it was especially important to use 1x3s to reinforce the back of this mirror. I ended up using a bunch of my scrap wood because I wanted a lot more 1x3s back there than I realized that I would. So if you're planning this project, I would say plan on lots of backing to make sure that this is nice and sturdy. All right, now I've got all of my wood ready for my panes that are going the other way. I cut all of my 11/16 inch trim pieces just about a 1/16 of an inch larger than the mirror panels I was using. I wanted a nice tight fit, but I also wanted to be able to actually get the mirrors into the openings. This metal speed square helped so much. I made sure that all the spaces were square and also that they aligned to the other little mirror panes that were part of my mirror. When I started the project, I had imagined gluing down all of my trim pieces, but soon I realized that these little trim pieces bowed too much for me to be able to do that, and I couldn't really clamp them in the middle of my mirror. So instead, I used my brad nailer, and that took out so much of the guesswork and was so much easier. Oh, what a beautiful sight. Now that I've got it all framed up, I just need to get wood filler to fill in all the little holes and get this painted. I was pretty stoked when all the spacing worked out because I'm not really a natural with numbers, and so sometimes there are surprises, but luckily there weren't any on this project. And try not to stress too much about the little holes in your work, all the little gaps between the trim pieces. The wood filler really does a good job of smoothing out any little problems with those. I vacuumed this whole project before I started painting because I noticed that there was a lot of sawdust and just debris all over the project, so that gave me peace of mind before I went into the spray painting phase. All right, I've got my first coat on, and the color is coming across just like I want it to, just kind of this dark charcoal color like we've got going throughout our house. Hopefully when I put the mirror panels on here, it'll just all come together. Okay, 2 cans of spray paint later, and I am ready to seal this puppy. I was careful to use adhesive specifically for mirrors because a lot of glues can really destroy mirrors. This stuff is pretty thick and it's hard to move the mirror much after it gets tacky, and I found that pretty encouraging. It's done. I'm just gonna let it dry for the night. I'm super excited to show this to Shaye. I wanted to tell you guys about these Serena Smart Shades that we got from Lutron Electronics. We have had these in our master bedroom and in our media room ever since we moved into our house, and we have loved them. We recently added them to this dining nook and to our playroom. So we had initially thought about putting shades in our dining room, but hi, Em. We really have quite a bit of privacy back here in our backyard, so we just haven't been too worried about it. But then we got this super cool TV, This OLED TV from LG is beautiful, but in the daytime we get so much daylight coming through these windows that I had a kind of a hard time watching it. So that's where these Lutron shades are so handy, because let me show you how easy this is. Hey Siri, lower the shades in the kitchen.
Ta-da!
So it's like nighttime in here now,
yeah. Yeah, it's nighttime.
And now you can watch your TV.
We can watch Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, or Desmond calls it Miska.
Another great thing, there's so much control. You can open these to 50%, and this is what they're like. These are actually just blackout shades. And I know blackout shades might not be everyone's first thought, but they really provide so much control because when they're cleared down, you can see it's really dark in here, but you can also just lift these to 50% of the window, or you could go even higher, and they just can provide a lot of control for you. In terms of aesthetics, I think that these are just about the most beautiful window coverings you can find. I really like the architectural fascia that Lutron has. The fabrics for these shades just come in so many different colors. We just opted for a very neutral shade here, and I think it's just very sleek. Our windows are something that we wanted to be very stylish, and so it makes sense to have a really understated window treatment, and these Serena Smart Shades are elegant and very understated, but they do the job beautifully. These Serena Smart Shades are so helpful in our playroom. We get a lot of direct sunlight in the afternoon over here. We had semi-sheer shades over here that gave us some good privacy, but they didn't keep the room very cool. These blackout shades are going to be a lot more eco-friendly, and it's so nice to have the Lutron shades that we can just control with our voice assistant from downstairs. So you guys can click the link in our description to learn more about these awesome Serena Smart Shades from Lutron Electronics. We've had them in our home for over a year now, and I honestly can't say enough good things about them. They're all controlled through the Lutron hub, and it's all just very integrated. They're so easy to use, they're very efficient, they cut down on your electricity bill, and they're elegant and just seamless and beautiful. So 2 thumbs way up from the Scots on our Serena Smart Shades. So we did record the first 10 minutes of trying to get this mirror in here, but it just didn't save. But we're getting close. Shaye did rip his toenail off earlier. Wow. It's also very exciting. Okay, I think I have got this styled the way I want it and everything. You guys, I'm loving it. So I would say if you want to attempt this project, but you're a little bit intimidated by it, don't be. It just requires some really like specific measurements for all of the little openings for the mirrors. But other than that, it's really not hard. Plus, you can make whatever ginormous size you want. And this whole thing cost me about 200 bucks to make. It turned out being a really good solution for us. I remember probably about a year ago, there were these mirrors from Ballard Design that I loved, but they were way, way smaller than this. And to put a whole bunch of them together, I think it was like $2,500 worth of mirrors, which I don't know about you guys, but that's too much to pay for mirrors. So this is a great solution to have a big mirror for a good price. And just to tell you a little bit about these accessories, I found this at HomeGoods, which I was pretty thrilled about. Our HomeGoods is really picked over. There's hardly anything, I think because of the pandemic. These branches were from Michael's. And I found this cute little basket at Target. So just helps to kind of frame out the mirror a little bit, make it a little bit more homey. So the final dimensions of the mirror, it's about 4.5 feet wide by almost 9 feet tall, and I really love how it just draws your eye up in this space. Another reason that I love it is it ties into architectural detail of our home. So I was afraid this would be too many mirrors, but since it's so different from this gold round mirror, I totally think it works. What do you think, Em? Do you like it?
It looks great.
Are you gonna dance in front of it? And we've got it secured to the wall too, because that's something I was worried about. I thought this thing could come falling down on somebody and we don't want that. So it's anchored to the wall nice and safe up there. Desi!
Look, I have a wiggly too.
You have a wiggly tooth? Oh my goodness, it's gonna come out anytime. Desmond, did you get your chocolate milk? Do you like it, Desi? Do you like what Mommy made?
Yeah, it's not pretty.
Yeah, Daddy had to watch you for lots of hours so Mom could make this, huh? So that will do it for this one. Shout out to everyone who gave me such great advice on Instagram. I think you were absolutely right. A mirror is the way to go in this space. So thanks for steering me in the right direction.
Thanks for joining us for a video. See you next time.
Bye. You say bye.
Bye.
Wave bye.
Bye.